Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm sure this video is gonna really blow your minds as Elon's Neuralink company is aimed towards making a product which sits right inside your brain and can read your brain signals which can be controlled via an app using Bluetooth. Let's see how this product brings new possibilities for human in the future. Well, let's start off why Elon brought up this technology. As said in the introductory keynote, he wants to understand and treat brain disorders like bringing back the limb functions or preserve and enhance your brain state, like improving your memory power or even hibernation. Who knows what can be the possibilities. So before going about the product, let's see how our brain works.
Of nearly 100 billion cells called neurons. Neurons come in many complex shapes, but generally they have a dendritic arbor, a cell body called a soma, and an axon. The neurons of your brain connect to form a large network through axon-dendrite junctions called synapses. At these connection points, neurons communicate with each other using chemical signals called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are released from the end of an axon in response to an electrical spike called an action potential. When a cell receives enough of the right kind of neurotransmitter input, a chain reaction is triggered that causes an action potential to fire, and the neuron to in turn relay messages to its own downstream synapses. Action potentials produce an electric field that spreads from the neuron and can be detected by placing electrodes nearby, allowing recording of the information represented by a neuron.
So now you guys should get an idea what Elon is up to. He just wants to record the brain signals by putting electrodes like threads near the neuron. This width of the thread is very tiny than your hair and is being precisely inserted in our brain using this robot. This robot has a very small needle which takes the thread and inserts it inside your brain very precisely. So the key here is more the electrode, more the information you gain. So Neuralink team have developed many prototypes and it's cool that they have a USB-C to take results and study the signals. So after many prototypes, they end up with this sensor. So the electrodes like threads from the brain connects it to this sensor which they developed over many prototypes. And this sensor goes right on top of your skull, which are then connected to an inductive coil behind your ear. And this inductive coil is connected by very small thin wires. This inductive coil is used to equip a wearable pod which they call it as a Neuralink, which has a Bluetooth and a battery. This implant works only with the pod, and that if that's removed, the sensor on the skull doesn't work. And for any software updates or a security issue like hacking the pod can be updated using the iPhone app without visiting a doctor. Yes, this sounds crazy, but it's gonna happen very soon. As I said before, this is mainly focused on disabled people. For instance, consider people lose their motor function over a period of time or using a robotic arm. This app can be used to learn back those functions or train the robotic arm. And in the keynote, they mentioned that this pod will be completely wireless and can be used for decades and even usable at home like charging the pods. In the keynote, the neurosurgeon of the Neuralink said,
"At Neuralink, we want to create an entirely different patient experience. Something more like LASIK. No scars, no big scars, no hospital stays, no short procedures, no hospital stays, very short procedures, and of course in the end you get to keep all your hair. We even want this to be possible under conscious sedation. That means you can get rid of the complexity and the risk of general anesthesia, as well as many of the unpleasant side effects, nausea, sore throat from a breathing tube."
Now let's see how the implantation is done.
Down to the injection of local anesthetic, a very small opening in the skin, a painless opening in the skull below, quick and precise placement of threads into the cortex, and then we fill that hole in the skull with the sensor, allowing the scalp to be closed up over it. Behind the ear, we'll make a small incision to insert the coil. We will tunnel tiny wires under the scalp to connect the sensors to the coil. That's the process.
So after the implantation, this patient need not to stay in hospital for days. So And importantly, there is no visible scars on your head, which I think it's pretty cool and brings more possibilities for human in the future. And if you want more detail on video on how the sensors work, comment down below. I'll try to make it. And that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy watching it. Thank you for watching. Do leave a like, comment, and I'll try to answer as much as possible. And subscribe to have more videos like this.